Hi guys, my name is Joe and welcome to Fighting Words, the martial arts library. This is a segment I call Media Fight Monday. So on the first and third Monday of every month, I take a fight scene from movies, television, animation, etc., and break down the action and give it a grade based on realism and storytelling value. This week we're taking a look at the opening fight from the movie Blood and Bone. So our main character, Bone, played by Michael Jai White, is in prison and he is being approached by about half a dozen guys who don't like him very much, and they all have shanks, and he's been warned about this, and he knows that they're coming. The ringleader is played by Kevin Ferguson, better known as Kimbo Slice. He got a reputation as sort of a backyard bare knuckle brawler. Eventually, he would have professional careers in mixed martial arts as well as boxing. Mr. White has backgrounds in various martial arts, including Kyokushin karate, Goju-Ryu karate, and many, many more. And of course, he's been in so many movies, including things like Spawn, Universal Soldier, one of the spin-offs of that. I like that he got to star in this movie. It seemed sort of like a throwback to, the action films from like the late 80s, early 90s. As far as the behind-the-scenes stuff, there are two fight coordinators listed. They are fight co-coordinators. Co-fight coordinators. I forget. Anyway, one is Sam Hargrave. He has worked in many Marvel movies, for instance, as a fight coordinator, including Captain America Winter Soldier and Infinity War. The other coordinator was Fernando Chien. He's been involved in a lot of stunts, including, again, several of the Marvel movies. So that's the background. Let's check out the fight. So, Bone was giving them until the count of 5, and guy number 1, played by Kevin Ferguson, Kimbo Slice, came in with his shank where Bone immediately disarmed him, stabbed him in his own shoulder with his own shank, and then kicked him. So now he's using his wet t-shirt. He was using it to block and deflect incoming strikes while also using his own punches and kicks. He had that nice little double kick there. That's cool. I don't know how well it will work. I guess you'd really have to have your guys lined up, but it was cool. The thing about the use of a piece of clothing to block strikes is sort of reminiscent of the use of the sarong in the martial arts of Silat, where they will use a sarong as a way to, deflect limbs, trap limbs, go for chokes, things like that. There's a wrist lock throw. Spun around and tripped that guy, and as he's falling, he sort of hammer fists his chest. The hammer fist to this area isn't particularly effective. There's a lot of muscle and bone there, not a whole lot of vital targets. But maybe adding a bit of momentum while you're dropping the guy, that might work. Big swing, gets kicked, looks like the groin. Alright, that was a bit of bad editing there. Kicked the guy in the groin, kicked him in his knee, which brought him to his knees, but in the next scene he's standing up. Bad edit. He did finish him off with a jump spin kick. So again, this is sort of reminiscent of our 80s and 90s action flicks. And that's pretty much it right there. He gives Kimbo Slice a message: tell everyone in here, if they think about messing with me, don't. So, that was a pretty quick fight. As far as realism goes, there are a lot of elements to it. I'd say that there was a lot of cinematic elements to this as well. Again, lots of spin kicks. Spin kicks can put you out. They have knocked people out before. They are very difficult to land, though. And 6-on-1 when everybody else has a knife, and not everybody is coming in at the same time. No, if If you got 6 dudes against one and your objective is to stab him with a knife, you sort of dogpile him and stab him with a knife. So strategy-wise, flow-wise, it wasn't particularly realistic. With that being said, nothing they were using was overly fanciful. Something that would be realistic would be throwing something at a guy's face like he did with the shirt to get the guy distracted. A good kick to the knee does have the potential to drop someone down on that leg. So if a C would be average, I might give this a C minus. They weren't doing a whole lot that would be considered sort of in the realm of fantasy. But again, attacks generally don't happen the way they were portrayed here, and you're probably not going to land that many spin kicks. As far as storytelling goes, I actually think this does a pretty good job of that. Unfortunately, one thing I had to cut out for time, we see sort of in the build-up, Bone, is making sure to monitor these guys through the mirrors, and, he's thinking ahead, he's taken off his top, he is wetting it so that he can use it here as a weapon. So Bone is being portrayed here, and we see it throughout the film, as someone who is a bit of a strategist. He's clever, he thinks ahead, he studies his opponents. We're also getting the story of a guy who can single-handedly take out like a bunch of other dudes. Most of those guys were bigger than him, and I think that was a deliberate choice to sort of show, like, look how badass this guy is. Look at the quality of people he can take out. So as far as storytelling goes, I think the in-action story doesn't tell a whole lot, because, kick this guy, he goes down, kick that guy, he goes down. But as far as developing a theme that's going to play out throughout the rest of the movie, servicing the rest of the movie, I think it does an excellent job. Gonna split the difference, gonna give it probably a B+ for storytelling. So anyway, that's all I have for this week. If you guys would like to help out the channel or request a video for me to review, please consider donating to my Ko-fi account. I'm going to put a link to that in the description, and I'll see you guys later.